don't dream, you know. They did. They watch for a way to get back. You did it. You let the dead get in.
I liked doing Samara and just making a horrifying image that kind of sticks with you, you know.
The main challenge for me was how to create the most frightening and eerie feeling with Samara's look in this movie.
I think the scariest thing about Samara, for me anyways, is not knowing what's under that hair.
There's an aspect that what you imagine is always a little bit more frightening than what you see. So when you think of that child who's kind of moving towards you and you're not quite seeing other than that little beginning of the glint of her eye, there's something frightening about that.
We actually liked the way I showed just one eye of Samara in Ringu. So Rick, his team, and I were more focused on the detail of her arms and feet.
In the first movie, we did the makeup in a way that it wouldn't work for the second film because in the second film, she was in water so much. We needed a makeup that would last in the water. We wanted this look that's called washerman. You know, when you take a bath, your hands get all puckery. It just kind of gets worse when you're a drowned person. Her arms were covered with these, these glue appliances. I just thought, well, it should be scary and creepy, so we just did a weird kind of too translucent of the skin and just modeled it up with some weird coloring, and you see the veins and things underneath. The whole process took about 5 hours with 3 people working on her. I mean, the main thing that gives Samara the look, I think, is the wig, and we made 3 wigs, I think, that we made for the film. The hairs are individually tied. It's a hand-tied, handmade wig. The wig is all human hair, and it's hard to get real human hair that's that long. Our hair is, about 3 feet long. I mean, I usually will use real hair just because it's real. It looks real when you're trying to duplicate something that looks real, and I figured it would work better in water and everything else. The longer hair is really, it was very difficult when Samara would be submerged in the water and come up and do that a number of times. It still got incredibly matted up, and it was very hard to brush that wig out in between takes and get the hair looking the way we want it, smooth and wet looking like that.
Creepy, scary children have been something that have scared us forever. There's this kind of innocence of this little girl in a white dress with black hair that's covering her face and covering her true intentions. There's just something disturbingly unnatural about the whole thing. Innocence on one hand and pure evil on the other.
In this movie, Samara's history is more revealed.
We never really explain why Samara is the way she is. This leads Rachel, Naomi's character, on a journey to find out the truth about Samara's past. We knew all about Samara's adopted parents from the first movie. We don't know anything about her real parents.
Her name was Evelyn.
She came to us 8 months pregnant.
Did she have her baby here?
Yes,
And the father?
there was none.
She has to find out what was the truth of Samara's birth.
Evelyn wasn't well. She'd been having problems during the pregnancy. She believed something had come for her baby from the waters of the world beyond this one. She felt she had to kill her baby to save it.
Ultimately, she comes face to face with Samara's birth mother.
Why did you try to kill your baby? Because my baby told me to.
In many respects, her behavior, supernatural though it is entirely understandable from an emotional perspective. As a child wronged, as a child born into a world that was tremendously cruel to that child, but it does raise the question of whether the cruel thing was what happened to her in the world, or whether the cruel thing was the fact that she was born at all.
With Samara, we can feel fear, but we can also feel sympathy. These 2 elements are kind of key elements in Japanese ghost story.
Also, I think it's scary about Samara is just the movement stuff. The thing that Hideo did in the first movie where they did the backwards walking and the reverse printing and the weird movement that she does, I thought was really scary.
Amazingly enough, so much of what he achieved in Ringu, he achieved through the camera.
The way she moves in the well is the biggest difference, and that was challenging too, because it really took time to create that movement. We discussed how to show Samara's strange walk or movement. We came up with the idea, well, let's ask a contortionist to play Samara in the well. We changed the speed of the camera as well, so her movement looked very weird.
I've always viewed Samara as being basically the patron saint or demon of the abandoned child.
I found you.
There's just something so inherently frightening and arresting about the icon that Samara has become.